What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Iberia AI only battle. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm going to have to start, well, not that I wasn't, but really enjoying it, because I just worked out like how many episodes I have to make in about 4 days, because I let time get away from me and I'm a bit terrified, but there we go. It's going to be a long few days. Might be a few. I'll probably forget things less, what happened in the last episode, because I'll probably do 5, 6, maybe 7 in a row sometimes, but we'll get it done. But obviously the one issue with that is, of course, because I'm going to be away, so which is still a while away, but I have to start now or I'll get there and I'll have no videos ready for when I'm away. But you might start to notice, if you leave a comment about how to improve things, I might sadly not be able to respond to it, because I'm sort of aiming now on, the 12th of July, aiming to have all the videos made till sort of the end of July within the next few days. So that kind of makes, if that makes sense. So I might not be able to respond to comments, and like we'll probably finish this one and start another one, and I won't really be able to. I'll have to come up with it like in the next few days what the next one is too, and not really have as much feedback. Unless, I guess, I don't know, spam me with comments today, and I'll try my best. But yeah, just sort of a heads up, I should still be able to respond to comments pretty frequently when I'm away, and I actually need to respond to comments from like the last month because I'm terrible. But there we go. So we continue this one. So that was just a little update if you're wondering what's going on. But yeah, if I start to sound like I'm struggling in like 10 episodes time, it was actually ages ago, and it was around now when I started making them all that it went horribly wrong. So I'd lost track of what day it was. Essentially, I had not really paid attention, and I was like, wait a minute. By the time I've done this over the weekend, then I've got to do this, and then I'm gone. Oh no, what am I gonna do? So it's gonna be a mad dash, but it's okay. It's all good. We'll figure it out. I think we've managed it before. Spain completes the Red Fort Wonder, and they're continuing to grow in this game, which is exciting. What's going on here? We're going to see Aragon grab a city off Leon, unless Leon pulls off some kind of miracle, but yeah, I don't see that happening here. So Aragon should get their hands on La Robla here. Yep, they do. That was easy enough for them. And we have entered the industrial era. Rechia has entered the industrial era. That is not Aragon, so that's exciting. That's this guy over here, the leader of the Swabi. A lot of mountains and snow. I obviously don't know. I guess there's mountains here. I don't know my geography obviously that well. I was just expecting everywhere to be hot. But, well, obviously there's snow on top of the mountains, but it didn't look as hot as I was expecting. Either way, I don't want to vote for me. I don't want to vote for anyone. Okay. Phew, that was close to disaster. What else we got going on? What else is happening out there? Still a big battle going on for this city, which of course Swabi took in a peace deal last time, so if they lost this now, that would be a bit of a blunder on their behalf. And of course Leon is at war on both sides, but Aragon will be focusing on the sort of random cities they've put across eastern Spain. Still more settlers for Leon. It looks like Asturias is gonna... Oh, if they go after the Tartesians here, that would actually be really smart. Tartesians cannot defend it at all. Yeah, that's a really good move and a good city to grab. Obviously, it gives you a border with Aragon. Not always great, but you can't not do it, if that makes sense. If you don't do it, Aragon probably takes it. So, at least, if you're going to have a chance, at least go for it. So, yeah, support that. Swabi get the Uffizi Wonder, and they're struggling here. Leon putting up a much sterner defense here. I think they thought maybe Aragon would drag more of their troops away, but that has not materialized, and now they're in real trouble. That is a lot of crossbowmen pounding this city with arrows. Not exactly the best siege weapon, but we'll let it slide. And another new city from Portugal, as the gaps, particularly in the western, most of the map, to be fair. There's still a bit around here in the south, but a lot of it is desert, and there is not particularly any luxuries. In fact, I don't see... Is there one? No, there's no luxuries, so it's not... It's useful, but it's not game changing. There might be some strategic resources, but there's nothing too crazy. Spain and Portugal, I nearly forgot about this, but they're still going strong in the south as well. And Leon does retake their city up here in the north. And there we go, the Tartesians lose their capital to Spain. Portugal could really do with picking up a couple more of these remaining Tartesian cities if they can. But we'll see. Hopefully they can get it done, but I'm not going to hold out for them. just because they've struggled a little bit with that one so far. And yeah, I think we might see the Tartesians eliminated. Asturias pulling it back. I thought they were going to be the first to go. They made a pretty dreadful start. But they've recovered, you know, they've definitely recovered. The Great Wall maybe has helped them, although they've not actually been under attack since the start when it was going bad, so I think they'll be okay. Yeah, getting their hands on this city should be super useful. Even if we see Aragon grab this one. Oh, Portugal. Spain sneak in and steal another one. And of course they lost La Joya back as well, so this... And there we go, Spain takes that in the peace deal. That is brutal. For Portugal, they're going to need... Yeah, now they have to beat Suebi or Spain. They need to pick one and go for it. The Tartesians do still have this city down here, so maybe they're safe for a bit longer. There are still settlers moving around. I don't think Leon's one was brave enough. Maybe turned around or got captured. Spain does have another one out this way, as does Asturias all the way down in the south. And Spain is, I believe, the first ideology there with autocracy. Okay. Good. We're getting towards turn 200. We won't do the info addicts again because we only did them last time, so we'll do them at 250, which is probably episode 4, maybe 5. Sorry, 5 at that point. I would say it's probably slowed down enough, or maybe 6. I don't know. It depends how much it slows down. This is only episode 3. We're averaging a very good pace, so I don't know. Spain though does put down the city of Leon. Does Leon not have a city called Leon? Oh, they do, but it's got a little accent on the O. Aragon with the order ideology, so they will be competing with Spain, which is big, and I'm guessing they maybe have more tourism. I have no idea. Let's have a look. Spain and Aragon, they are up there, 1 and 2. Spain actually does have more, but Portugal is actually the tourism leader of the world here, and I think that is the Tartesians, and then Ferdinand is Portugal. Right, Leon and Asturias captured cities. So Leon grabbed this one. That was the one that Spain took and held on to for a while. Aragon completes the Louvre. And then this one deals full from the Tartesians to Asturias. So they've gained another city. So they are still pulling off this comeback. And I think Spain either grabbed a tile or did sneak in another city down here. There you go. And I thought that was a great war infantry then. It is a conquistador. So not quite as scary. Peace deal between Asturias and the Tartesians, who do have another settler, so they're going to keep fighting. It's not a bad thing. If they fill up this sort of last gap in the map down here, that would be pretty useful. Suebi took this city, which of course it was with Spain when this war started, so it's kind of a net loss for Spain, whichever way you look at it, Leon or Suebi. But it ends there with a peace deal. So yeah, Suebi lost this city and gained this one. So it's a bad swap, but it's not terrible. You know, it's not as bad as just losing this city. And Leon, overall, they just gained a city, so they technically won. Spain lost that war, basically. Spain were the biggest losers in that war, and they kind of weren't in it, unless I'm missing something. But I think Spain still had that when it fell. That is quite funny. Although saying that, Spain is not really fighting them, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe it had fallen and gone back earlier, and I'm just being silly. Who knows? Well, you guys will know, because you're going to rewind and check. I'm going to live in blissful ignorance as to whether I was wrong or not. And move on. Guado has been captured by Aragon. Where on earth is that? That is... Oh, I know where that is. That was in the middle here. There we go. So that city there, falling to Aragon. And there we go. A second city, again, for the Tartesians. Crab and Pearls band. There's a lot of coast on this map. Yeah, there's a lot of crab down here. So that's Spain and Portugal. Certainly affected. I'm sure some others maybe are as well, or anyone trading for them, for example. There's pearls here for Suebi. Asturias maybe didn't have any of those, but yeah, I'm sure Aragon does. You know, they have a big enough coastline that I would say that seems reasonable to assume. Maybe not, but that's fish. Oh, they do have pearls. There you go. So they're gonna all lose happiness essentially on the basis of that vote. Everyone except Leon, because Leon has no coast, unless they were trading for some. Portugal goes order, teaming up essentially, I know it's not a full-on team and they probably won't work together, but Portugal going with Aragon, and of course having the most tourism, so that is going to probably put Spain into some dissidence issues going forward as we get past turn 200 already in the industrial era. Aragon do have a fairly big fleet. Again, they've just been a very passive civ, not passive, but they seem pretty happy with their stuff. They've not really had to fight anyone yet. I'm sure that will change sooner or later. I don't know if the AI is impacted by the, they must just see a number and think, oh, there's loads of land left, but it's not actually accessible. I don't know if that impacts them at all. Obviously, there's big, huge North Africa, or region of North Africa cut off, and also a big region of southern France too that I just didn't know was on the map when I made the game, so we got rid of that. I didn't want to make it too unfair. I thought Aragon would dominate up here, or maybe Asturias would just get too much. And again, down here I thought the Tartesians would probably cross over. It's only shallow water, so it wouldn't take them too long, and then it might have been a bit unfair. Asturias completes order, which is that a third one? I think so. Yeah, so it's now it's looking really bad for Spain. They weren't having any unhappiness due to public opinion last time I checked, but yeah, now it's minus 22. So that might very quickly lead to a Spanish Revolution, which probably wouldn't take too long to overcome. But yeah, probably just going to see the whole game go order, unless Swaby and the Tartesians and Leon do all just pick autocracy, and even then it's probably still unlikely. Spain would not, maybe I was wrong about the city. Spain at war with Leon again, which suggests they weren't at war at the time, so I don't know how. Maybe Spain lost this earlier. Aragon has entered the modern era, which doesn't necessarily mean super modern, but they do have Gatling guns, I can see. We've seen a few civs with Gatling guns though. Anything else particularly advanced? Privateers, frigates, cannons, riflemen. Yeah, they're not quite. Oh, okay, never mind. There's some Great War infantries turning up right now. So there you go, that's where Aragon's up to. Already, another city for the Tartesians. They're just not slowing down. I don't know if these guys are first though. I'm not sure. Demographics, they're just going to be winning all of them. Oh my god, they actually are. Well, there you go. Literacy is now led by Aragon. Okay, so it's going well for them. We'll see if they can. Maybe this game's more about, can Aragon take over all of Spain, as opposed to being, a normal AI game. They did have the best starting spot by a country mile. Did I pick someone? I have no idea. I don't think I did. So that's always good too. Well done, George. Got you guys all to pick and then didn't pick myself. I'm sure I must have done. But I'm looking at all 7 of them. I'm like, I didn't pick you. I didn't pick you. Did I pick? I wouldn't have picked Asturias. They were doing pretty bad. Aragon I wouldn't have picked because I thought that they were the sort of favourite. Tartesians. Maybe I picked them. I don't know. Maybe I just did forget again. That's pretty normal of me, just to not make a selection. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if I hadn't picked one. So that could well be the case. Privateers moving around the coast. There's a lot of boats now, actually. All moving around. No one's come after my submarine yet, so that's good news. That's what we want. Just leave me alone. In the corner. So, yeah, this is not going well for Spain. Aragon has planes. Great. This is going to get messy very quickly, I feel, for some of these other civs, unless Aragon stays pretty peaceful. Only domination and culture victories are on, so I don't know exactly what that will lead to in their ambition. I assume they could go for a domination victory if they wanted to. The 7 capitals they would need, where are they? There's Tartessos or Tartessos over this way. Lisbon, they're a bit further away. Madrid they're all pretty far away, to be honest. Madrid, Leon up here. Swaby's capital, Braga, is the furthest away, and then Asturias. I guess this was their initial capital. I don't think they lost it, so I'm guessing that's the initial one. And that's all they'd need, which doesn't seem impossible. certainly with a good tech advantage, and you could also snake your way through, although the AI doesn't tend to do that, but you could in theory. And yeah, they have the culture victory on the cards as well. But we're probably going to get to a point where we just have a similar to the Italy game, if you remember that. I want to say a few months ago, but that could well have been getting towards a year ago. I don't know. Either way, if you remember that, by the end there was sort of 7 or 8 civs all alive at the end, top of the tech tree, and it was just kind of modern warfare, which was kind of cool. So we might get that. That's the sort of thing I'm imagining, where even if we know Aragon will eventually beat them up and be the one to take them all out, you know, there'll be little cool mini fights between the other ones that are really interesting beforehand. It could make things super interesting. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, it looks like Aragon is stacking up a little bit on units. Getting ready. They are attacking this Leon city. Portugal is still going after the Tartessians, a bit further away from home. How they were so bad with their navy before, and yet here they've probably done more damage than they did the whole time over here. It's pretty terrible. It's not a good look, but there we go. I wonder if Spain could defend themselves. I feel like they just need to keep up. They might not be able to win, but they could probably hold their own. As long as they get planes semi-soon, that will be alright. Phew, I got a bit nervous there, but it kept going. We didn't crash. Swaby does go autocracy. Okay, I mean, they wanted that bonus, and that saves Spain from any issues, at least for now. I mean, Swaby also have 30 tourism, so... What is that now? Oh god, what have I done? Okay. 51 for Spain and Swaby. Still, you know, about 20 behind, but there's less of them, and that will certainly mess things up in terms of the pressure on Spain, who were in the middle. As being in the middle probably didn't help either. I want to see the culture victory progress. I can't... You need to be influential on everyone, right? I don't know how many they are. It doesn't say. Okay, is there no way to see? No. Okay, I was wondering if anyone else was, but I'm gonna guess it's not too bad yet. Spain is struggling in this war with Leon. That is, yeah, these mountains. I mean, it kind of protects Madrid, but it makes it very difficult to go northwards as well. Something to bear in mind for them, I guess. Looks like Aragon is going to grab this city, and it looks like Portugal may end up taking one. Just probably not the one they needed. Of all the cities they could have taken off the Tartessians, this wasn't exactly top of the shopping list, but it'll have to do. They're not going to probably get these other two, so yeah, they'll have to settle for this, but it probably will not make them best friends with Aragon. There we go, 222. I'll do the religion at 225, sort of end this episode, just seeing which ones are ahead, which ones are not. Once we get there, turns are still running at a reasonable speed, apart from Spain. It's not the Spain. Spain just seems to be the longest of everyone. I mean, the overall turn time is fine. Go hit next turn again. Yeah, Spain is struggling with this, so there's not too much going on really, because these two are at peace, and they have a bigger and bigger border between Asturias and Aragon to defend in the north. And Spain will have a big border with them too, I'd imagine, eventually, once they consolidate the map a bit more. Surely they can't not get this. Surely not. Surely it's happening. That cannon died, so maybe they're going to mess it up. They have so many units they're just not using, so I can't really say, oh, I feel bad for Aragon messing this up. Like, you could have made it a lot easier for yourselves. And you have a 3 tech lead to the second best civ, so I'm not giving you any sympathy here. But that will not be it, because I said we'd do this. World religions. Okay, so there's a 3-way tie for the lead now. Okay, so before there was 2 in the lead, with sort of 15-ish. Then there was 3 at about 8 and 9. And then there was 1 like dead one. Now we have 2 much smaller and dead ones. And then a much closer race. We have 3 tied with 19 cities. and then one just behind on 17. So we have Buddhism from Portugal, Catholicism from Asturias, and Confucianism from Aragon on 19, and then Hinduism from Spain in 17. And that kind of works because Spain, they're not exactly south, but they're in the middle and at the bottom, with Leon being in the middle and at the top. So you could say Spain's religion's in the south, Portugal's in the west, Asturias in the north, Aragon in the east. So that kind of makes sense. It makes it quite interesting that we have this split. But there you go, that means no one's really dominating the religious game. But there we go, that will be it for this episode. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.